preparing autistic people to live and work independently from an early age and helping caregivers plan for the life of their loved ones on the autism spectrum after they die. These are among 14 recommendations that were unveiled by the Autism Resource Centre under a new master plan. For more, we're joined by Stephanie Khoo. She's Deputy Executive Director of the ARC. Stephanie, awareness of autism has improved in society over the years. How far does this new roadmap go in addressing what needs to be done to ensure that those who live on the spectrum live a quality life?
Hi, thanks a lot. Now, over the years, much has been done for the younger group of children and teens, but there are still many gaps in the adult space. This Autism Enabling Master Plan has highlighted some of these gaps in a few key areas. First, it's in learning for life, because we find that many students who leave school actually don't have very limited learning options, especially those on the autism spectrum. The second area is employment. Employment options continue to be very limited, and many are unable to obtain and keep their jobs. The third area is really needing to develop and grow more autistic leaders in the community to participate and lead in some of these key areas of need. And finally, very many caregivers actually worry a lot for their autistic child's future after they pass on. So these are some of the gaps that we've identified and will be prioritizing in the master plan.
And now that you have this master plan, Stephanie, what are the Autism Resource Centre's next steps to put plan to action?
Well, the Autism Resource Centre has begun working on a few key initiatives. The first one, which I've shared about the caregiver, is a playbook that contains a structured way for caregivers to organize and plan for their children's life so that the children can continue to thrive after they pass on. The second is an enabling academy to support lifelong learning and learning to continue. The academy will source, develop and deliver learning options and solutions for autistic adults and persons throughout the lifespan. Now, the third area on the employment front, we've begun working with our Employability and Employment Centre on a toolkit of best practices for hiring and supporting autistic adults in the workplace. And finally, in the residential living option area, we are looking at a project to develop alternative residential models to be able to support different support needs. And we're taking reference from existing models right now in the mainstream and modifying and building upon it so that the models of living can be sustainable in the longer run. Yeah.
Stephanie, helping autistic persons to develop necessary skills to live, to work independently, it's always been seen as critical. But how challenging has it been?
Yeah, I mean, if we know about autism, we know that many persons on the autism spectrum actually find it difficult to pick up skills in areas of work habits, life readiness, and also struggle a lot with knowledge and skills transfer in different contexts. So when we want to work with them, some of the key things that we need to do to help them to be more successful is to, one, recognize their strengths and learning styles, two, to teach them explicitly, third, to give them more time to learn, and also, very importantly, lots of opportunities to practice. And with these things put in place, I think that we feel that it would actually help them to be more prepared for living and working as adults.
I guess the need for planning comes sharply into focus, especially when autistic persons lose a caregiver or a caregiver passes on. I'm sure you can share stories and instances where planning wasn't done, and what happened as a result of that.
Well, not to get too specific about any examples, but we have had to meet with many caregivers as we develop this plan. And many of them share that they want to plan, but they don't know how to go about the planning. And it is not such a simple, it is quite a complex exercise. So in the Autism Enabling Master Plan, it has recommended the development of this playbook. And this playbook is intended to help provide an organized step-by-step guide for caregivers to plan for their loved ones after they pass on. Yeah, so there are many examples of outcomes that may not have been so successful, but we do look forward to more positive outcomes when we can put some of these plans in place. Yeah.
Stephanie, thank you very much for joining us this evening and sharing those thoughts with us. Stephanie Khoo there, Deputy Executive Director of ARC.